Sure. Noire, you went to go pick up Fabian, and
Yep, I got the two ice creams off it. Those
oh yeah,
that
the ice
Madison
cream.
and Nevi requested. She just
Oh
leaves them
yeah,
and goes,
they're very
thumbs
grateful.
up.
Actually,
And
didn't you
Nevi,
buy one of each flavor? You have a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, the the rest are going to be offered to Felicity and her girls and Fabian.
Aw. Okay.
so you go over to Felicity's house, and um, Felicity answers the door, and she says, "Oh, Noire, you're back.
Hey, yeah,
Come in,
sorry,
come
it
in."
took a little while. I brought ice cream.
She says, "Oh, you are a treasure." She says, "We were just having some. We were just having some pie, and I think it would be wonderful to have this a la mode. Do you like whatever the equivalent of
Mm,
apple is? Do you like apple crumb, whatever that equivalent is in Pokemon?"
yeah, it's quite pleasant. Yeah,
I
sure, if you
Well,
don't
you
mind.
are in luck. I made a fresh apple pie that we're about to serve to all of the kids, and this is a special recipe from my Grammy. I like mine pretty tart, so hopefully you do too. But if not, I'm sure I can sweeten it a little bit for you.
Well, we have ice cream for that, so
Come in, she says. The girls and Fabian, they're
okay.
just finishing up a movie. They're finishing up whatever the equivalent of Frozen is. So it's a full of ice Pokemon, and it seems like the girls are definitely getting into it, and Fabian is enjoying the movie as well. So you
Oh,
go over into the kitchen, and she pulls out the pie that was cooling, like on the counter, and she starts to slice it up. And she says, "So how was your trip? Castelia City must have been really exciting."
it was eventful. Yeah, no, well, good
Oh,
things
she
happened.
says, "What
We
did
got
you
ice
do?
cream.
What did you see?"
She says quietly, lowering her voice. Well, I was there assisting the police with an investigation. I was eyewitness to a crimes involving
Oh,
the same organization, and we went to a mansion, and it wasn't pretty.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Goodness me. She says,
Yeah,
I'm hoping that you're not gonna have to run into any of those experiences anymore.
I'm probably going to go to Johto at some point in the future because a friend, long lost foster parents, apparently crashed there last year. So yeah, I've got to
Johto,
figure out how that's working.
do they even do they even allow people into Johto anymore?
Probably not. So this is going. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of working out what to do.
She's looking
Yeah,
back at the living room where the kids are watching TV, and she says, she lowers her voice a little bit. Noir, you are crazy or something? You can't go in there. It's dangerous.
I know, but it's like, hey, someone's parents are there, and like, you've already done a lot for me. I can't really say no, but I can't really go at the moment because Remy
I
contracted the
understand,
virus.
sugar. I understand, but I also know what it's like to be a parent. Honey, if you were
Yeah,
my daughter, I would tell you to stay away. If I was lost in there and you were safe here and behind these walls, I would be ticked off if you went after me.
yeah, like if yeah, I'd be annoyed if I went to Johto and Fabian or Remy came after me. Like that would annoy
That's
me
what
to
I'm
no
saying.
end. But I know the girl will go in there without me.
Obviously, I don't want to sound heartless. Obviously, I'm concerned about your
I
friend and your
know.
friend's, you know, uh, loved ones, but again, I'm just thinking about what they're thinking, and if they think that if it puts them to ease late at night knowing that their girl is safe, That'd be enough for me personally. I would not want them over there.
Yeah. I definitely know that.
Just something to think about. I'm sorry to
But
hear
I
that.
don't think
That's
Damon.
terrible.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to bring down your day.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Trust me, I've had my fair shares of ups and downs too. And there's some things that you can control and some things that you can't. The important thing is being able to figure
Yes.
out which ones you can and can't.
Speaking of Castilia City, we went to a sushi bar, and I was with Chase and a few others, and he recognized someone apparently who you knew quite well. Apparently, he had a rocky past. I'm not sure about the details, but they were in Castilia City. If that makes you feel any better.
Who? She asks as she gets her look on her face goes serious for a moment.
So,
He was in Castilia City.
yeah.
They informed me that they let him go. They assured me, though, that my restraining order rights would still be in effect, so he's not allowed to be anywhere near the vicinity of the city. So, I guess if he's deciding to settle in Castilia City, that's fine by me. I could care less what he's doing as long as he stays away from me and the girls.
Well, he's definitely very far away.
Well, good. He better be, otherwise they're gonna take him back in. And he'd deserve it.
Well, if he does cause any trouble,
No,
I know a good officer.
he can try, she says. He can sure try to cause trouble, but I'm telling you something. When I look at those girls over there, Mama Bear Tick's instincts are gonna kick in.
Very understandable. I would feel the same.
I wouldn't be too worried about him myself. I don't think he's gonna be bothering any of us here anytime soon. He wouldn't be that stupid to come here in Saffron.
Well, I thought you should at least know it did concern
I
you a little.
appreciate it, dear. Fortunately, our police system is kind enough to let us know when the people that we have restraining orders against are released. So they did let me know, but
handy.
thank you.
So, want to focus on something different? Talking about frozen and eating delicious pie with ice cream.
Yes, she says as she places a slice in front of you.
Thank you. Oh, which flavor would you like? I wasn't sure which one to get, and had a lot of people I know. So
She says, when it comes to ice cream, I'm pretty simple. I like my vanilla, Kalos vanilla particularly. But then I normally add in a few berries in, simple berries in on top. I don't like putting in sprinkles or anything like that. It's just too much sugar for me.
okay, I think we actually have one of those.
All right, and she'll
And-
scoop some. She'll put it on the pie, and she'll motion the kids and says, "Kids, the pie's ready." And the two girls, and then will run excitedly over, and one of them will grab onto the pie and says, "Thanks, Mama." And then the other one gets another one and she says, "Her piece is bigger than mine." And she says, "Now you two, don't you go acting up while we have guests here. You two have to be in your best behavior since Miss Noire's here. Fabian's sister." And then Fabian, comes over and he takes a slice and he sees Noire, and he gives you sort of like a smile and a crooked smile and a nod, and then he sits at the table and he starts to eat his pie. Sorry, mommy.
We'll join with eating and like ask what the girls' names are. There she knows. Introduce herself properly.
She says, "Tell Miss Noire your names, girls." Juliet is what one girl
Oh,
says,
beautiful name.
and then the the other one says Nadia. Juliet and Nadia, spelled Nadia. It's like Nadia, but they pronounce it Nadia.
And an elegant name.
What's elegant?
Well, do you know what graceful means?
Uh-uh.
It means you carry yourself with like a royal princess. You have that type of air about you.
Like Nelsa? She says, which is one of the
I like
characters in
Nelsa.
Partially
Yeah.
Thawed, I think is what we wanted to call the movie, Partially Thawed. Like Nelsa?
Yeah, and oh yeah, Juliet. About like Annette, I believe her name is.
Yes, she says. But then Nadia points out, Elsa's not a princess. Elsa's a queen. And
Well,
and then Juliet says, "No fair. You get to be the queen. I want to be the queen."
well, there's certainly advantages of not having to be a queen. You have a lot more freedom to do what you want. That's responsibility in cool ceremonies, but you know, you can go out and do a few extra things. There's
The
pros and
two
cons.
the two girls probably didn't understand half of what you were saying, but it doesn't matter because they're now enjoying their pie. So, girls, just enjoy your pie, and then we're gonna get ready for bed soon. Okay, mommy.
Fabian, when we get home, I have a surprise for you because of your excellent behavior of late.
Surprise?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh, I like surprises. He says.
Mm-hmm. It's something blue.
Fabian was very well behaved, she says. We had a little bit of a crazy time during bath time, though, isn't that right, young man? And Fabian just
Mm.
shrugs. He doesn't say anything, he just shrugs. But other than that, he was just fine. The girls
Okay.
seem to like him okay. Girls, you like having Fabian over? And the girls nod, saying, uh-huh, uh-huh. I think they were trying to teach him how to play dress up the other day, and he didn't seem to like it particularly much, though.
Yeah, he's not really a big fan of dress up. But, you know, everyone has their likes and dislikes.
I don't like dress up, Fabian suddenly says. Oh, I know, baby. I know. Um, um, she says, trying to diffuse the situation, because he seemed very offended when they talk about dress up, almost like it was a very scarring experience for Fabian. I don't like dress up, he says, suddenly.
Thank you so much for taking care of him. It was good to know that he was safe during everything.
Oh, of course, she says. It was really easy, especially over the weekend. So, anytime you need to drop him off on a Friday through Sunday, just let me know. I'm sure the girls would love it.
Oh, thank you. I'll have to make you something in return for this apple crumble. It's wonderful.
Oh, honey, we don't owe me a thing. A friend of Tiffany's is a friend of mine. And a friend of Chase's as well.
Here's you, I think, painting of the back room, if I believe I remember correctly.
He certainly does. I definitely, like I said, I think the back room could definitely use a fresh coat. Well, girls, I think it's time for bed. Noir, if you excuse us, we need to go through our routine. But like I said, hang out for however late you need to. And if you need to go, you can just let yourself out.
Thank you.
Have a good night if I don't see you.
You too.
Okay, girls, let's get you washed up.
Fabian, you ready to go? You want to go home?
I want
Get
more
your
pie.
How many pieces of pie have you had?
One, he says as he points at the one that he's having right now, that he just finished.
Hmm. Oh, let's see. Could I get another piece of pie?
She says, "There's plenty there if you want him to."
Okay. Fabian, you can have another piece of pie tomorrow, okay?
I want a piece of pie now.
How about we compromise and you can have a piece of pie when we get home?
Roll a charm.
Yeah.
Are you doing this in a authoritative way? Or are you doing this in a charming, diplomatic way, I guess?
She's trying to make a compromise by letting him have it on the same
Okay,
day.
so roll me a charm, please.
And out of character, I did just read the rules here. It's there's a fun thing with like flirting and manipulating and trying to. So it's actually an opposed check. So that would be important for a couple of you. So if you're trying to do a charm, it's a charm versus the opponent's charm or their focus. So these things become more dynamic that way.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
How did I do? I might re-roll that using.
Okay.
No, she wouldn't do that on Fabian, actually, no.
Okay, so how much was that?
9. Not great.
9. He's gonna shake his head. I want it now.
So, do you want your surprise, or do you want the pie?
He thinks for a moment. Surprise.
It's one of your favorite things. Would you like to see the surprise now or later?
He'll say, now.
Okay. I'd like you to clues, but that name can be changed. Coming out.
You pop it out, and this beautiful blue, shiny Mothim emerges. And as soon as it pops out, like, his face like lights up, and he's like, I don't know, it's like he doesn't know how to react. He's like this is all like one amazing dream of him like winning the lottery. He's like ridiculously excited. He's jumping up and down, and you know he's on the chair right now, and he's like jumping up and down, and he gets up, and then he goes over to the Pokemon, and he takes the Pokemon, and he's trying to squeeze it. The Pokemon kind of reacts a little bit like, oh, okay, it's too much.
Gentle, Fabian.
He eases up
Hello.
a little bit. Thank you.
I think he likes you.
Thank you, he says, and he goes over to you and he says, thank you.
No problem. You mentioned that you might be ready for something like this, but you're going to have to take very good care of him and be very gentle.
Gentle, yes, gentle. What's his name?
Well, at the store they said he was named Clues, but
Clues.
if
Clues.
you like that,
Yeah, I like his name.
well, Clues, do you think you could get along with my young brother?
Clues looks at Fabian, and he sort of like nuzzles his head on his cheek, and Fabian chuckles a bit. Clues! I love Clues!
I hope you two get along quite well. I'll go get
Clues
your
wants
bags.
some pie, he says as he goes over to the pie. Clues wants some pie.
Wink with Clues, do you want pie?
I mean, it's made of pokeberries, so it can eat it, yeah. If you can ask if Clues wants pie, I think you'll get a note that he's like, yeah, I'm hungry actually. I could use something to eat. Somebody feed me.
Okay. Well, Here you go. Then we'll head off.
All right. So you'll give Clue some pie. He'll lap up the pie quite excitedly. And Clue seems very, very satisfied and very happy. And Fabian's going to be like in cloud 9. He's going to be in a great mood. He's not going to act up. He's actually going to be a complete angel for like a while. He's like really, really in a good mood. So that night you'll probably rest very easily because he probably won't get much sleep, but you probably will. So
Yeah. She'll go home, and once she's home, she'll probably let out Remy, and she'll introduce Remy and say hi to Cassie if she's there. Stuff like that. She might get a phone call on the way.
Yeah, you will have finished your phone call, Cassie, by the time that Fabian and Noire and Remy come back, and you see that Fabian is in high spirits, and there's a new Pokemon, a new Mothim flying around him, and he looks excitedly at Clues and says, "Clues, come! I'll show you my room." And then they'll go into his room.
Yeah. Sorry about the timing, Remy. I didn't think anything bad would happen while I was gone. But I hope you and him can get along, and you have someone else there to look out for you. And you look out for him, I guess, when you're feeling better.
So he was in the ball, right? You really, like, he would have been in the ball for that trip to Felicity. So upon getting home and seeing that there's a blue moth flying around, he actually doesn't look excited. He actually looks quite afraid. And you hear "Kill me now" again in his thoughts.
Don't worry. He's probably a new member of our family. I know this is very scary, but it can be a good thing.
And you hear "caterpillar worm" as a response.
Oh.
And he wants to go to your room. He doesn't go to the windowsill like usual. He's pawing at your door.
She'll open it and go, yeah, you have a good night's sleep. I will take you to prison labs tomorrow and see what Dr. Lightyear can do. If that doesn't work, we'll go anywhere else that we need to go.
Can I interject with a quick little scene that happens while Noire is on the way to Felicity?
Sure.
So Chase would have followed, but he wouldn't have been obviously following. He would have been much like so far back that Noire wouldn't have caught it. And he's staying to any kind of woodland or darkness or whatever. And he's just going to scope out the house and make sure that she gets there all right. He's worried about Sylvain. He knows he's in a different area, but he's just worried. And then he just turns to Lux real quick and he's like, "All right, brother, we're gonna stay here tonight. Are you okay with that?"
Headbutts you.
And we're going to Johto very soon. Are you okay with that?
Confused look.
We got to save Molly's parents or find them.
Okay, this is normal. Let's go.
And then they'll sit through the event of Noire being there. And when Noire leaves, Chase will stay behind. And then he'll just lay back on the grass. And he's like, "I'm going to be sleeping here. Watch over me."
Also proceeds to start rubbing himself on you because you don't smell right. And there's another Pokemon smell on you. Don't like this. This isn't one of our pack. No.
Molly is with Bullet. She's actually show him, hey buddy, I got you something, and she's gonna show him the new saddle that she bought in Castilia.
Describe this saddle again.
It's like brand new. It's like very soft leather, very hopefully more comfortable for both Bullet and Molly, and it's also a 2-seater for no particular reason.
Well, upon seeing it, he seems to gasp a little bit and reaches out and slowly drags a wing along its surface,
Molly
Upon
says,
reaching the end, slowly nods.
yeah, she says, come on, let's try it out on the flight home. So,
Yeah, he'll happily prep, positioning as always.
yeah, she'll unload the old saddlebags, put them into the new ones, and then she'll call out to Madison. Hey, Madison, do you want to fly back with us?
Oh, I actually get to ride on Bullet? Oh, this is so exciting. Isn't that exciting, Rotim? Indeed, Mum, indeed, the Rotim says. It'll be good to be back in some form of normalcy for once. Indeed. I'm ready for all of this excitement to be behind us.
So,
Yeah. I mean, excitement's not the horrible, but normalcy is good too.
you got that right. Come on over here. Do you want to sit in the front or the back?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Although the front seems really, really more exciting. But I don't know what's better for Bullet. She says.
Is it your first time flying?
She says, "Oh no, I've ridden on flying Pokemon before, but I've never actually ridden on a Crobat before."
With Golbat stats.
Yeah.
Oh, he's graduated to Crobat stats now.
Oh, did he now? Yeah.
Yay.
So she,
Woo! Our first evolve.
yeah. So she'll say, yeah. If it's your first time on a Crobat, then you better ride up front. You can get a better grip that way.
Sounds good. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah. So she'll get everyone situated. She'll get on, and then, all right, Bullet, go on.
He'll look back at Molly, as best he can, of course, and
Yeah.
give her this look, which she might at this point come to understand. Should I be safe, or should I be exciting?
She mentions, she says, safe with just a touch of excitement.
Okay. So he'll nod a little, and he'll take off like a slightly slower bullet.
Okay. Wow, I gotta say, this is a lot smoother than I imagined it, but for some reason, I would have thought Bullet would have been able to move much faster than this.
Oh, he can. I actually signaled him to be a little bit safer for you.
Safe? Safe's not always fun, though.
So Molly will look at Bullet and she'll say, you heard the woman, Bullet. And she'll quickly whisper to Madison, you asked for this, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after
Okay.
giving a moment to let them prepare, then he'll start propelling himself with all four wings.
All right, and you just fly through the air the way I guess you normally would if you were flying with Molly. Maybe a bit faster than that, just because you like to show off.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this big rush of excitement that washes over Madison, and she starts laughing at the sudden speed, and she starts going, "Woo! This is more like it." She says, "My gosh, Molly," she says, "Bullet's something, isn't he?"
Yeah, he really is, isn't he?
And she says, "I didn't realize he could go this fast. This is really impressive."
Oh, you should see him. You should see him when he's doing tricks in the air. Even I have trouble holding on then.
He can do tricks in the air? What kind of tricks can he do?
Oh, somersaults, barrel rolls, nose dives, that kind of stuff.
Oh, do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll.
Well, I mean, hey, if she asks, in response, he will do the full barrel roll, not to be confused with an aileron roll.
Mm-hmm. What is the difference, Riz?
The barrel roll is, so in Star Fox, they do an aileron roll where they just tightly spin like
Right.
that. The barrel roll is the more like full, going in a circle kind of thing.
The full
So
loop.
that's the actual barrel roll. Gotcha. Okay. Which the X-Wing does do. I think you can actually do that maneuver in the game too, but they don't call it the barrel roll.
You do it, you go forward and then go backwards in that, and then you flip
Right.
over again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same kind of
I don't know.
maneuver, but
I guess I don't
either
know.
way.
Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Molly has
you get
joined
to
in
show
the
off a
cheering.
bit. You get to show off a bit, and I mean Madison, she can hold on. Like she actually is. She's more of a daredevil kind of person.
Mhm.
Probably the exact opposite of Dr. Pearl. I think Alicia is a little bit more appreciates the safer flying.
And Keith
Then
doesn't
these-
appreciate it at all.
Keith doesn't appreciate it at all. So you have a lot of fun making your way back to Celadon, and you'll go over to your apartment. And Madison will look around, and she'll say, "This is actually." She says, "Wow, Molly, you actually have a really nice place."
The outside is nicer than the inside, unfortunately. But yeah, my house is your house.
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't. I don't think it really matters as long as it's your own.
Yeah. Madison, she writes down the code for the door, and she says, here's the code. Here's the house number and the code. Why don't you go ahead up? I need to talk to Bullet for a second.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I'll just get my things unpacked. I shouldn't take up too much space. Is the network password on here too?
It's I actually have it taped on the wall. You'll find it in there. You can't miss it.
Perfect. All right, Tim. Let's go and explore the place, I guess. We'll see you in there.
I'm sure she could have figured out the password anyway.
I'm sure. But, it's polite to ask.
Of course, of course.
Of course. Yeah, so Molly was feeling very excited by the flight, and then she looks at Bullet and she starts to look a little bit more somber. And she says, "Bullet, you want to walk with me a little bit?"
Upon seeing her expression change, he's still smiling, but it seems slightly more off now, and he'll nod and walk over on his wings to her.
I'm glad you're back. I'm really glad you made it back safely, and I'm glad you were able to get Rotim back. You did great.
Stands up a little more, puffs out his chest / body.
Mm-hmm. And she says, "I got some news, Bullet. Someone I care about, two people I care about, are in Johto. I know I don't think I've ever told you about Johto, but the short story is it's a very, very dangerous place. Listen, you've done great recently. You did surveillance at the psychic rally. You got Rotim back, and I'm so proud of you, Bullet. I really am. But this might be the most dangerous thing we've done so far. You're not my servant or anything like that. You're my partner, and if you want to go with me, then I will appreciate it. If you don't want to go with me, I understand. I'll find my own way to Johto if you don't want to go with me. But I want you to understand how dangerous this is. What do you think? Will you go with me?"
At that point, upon the question, Bullet will turn away from her slightly, but in a way that she'll recognize as climb on.
So she climbs on, and she pats his head, and she hugs him. She hugs him from behind. She says, "That's the only answer I need."
And with that, he'll take off and start flying.
Yep. And when they land again, Molly will actually hug him.
Oh, land again. He's going to Johto.
Not right now.
Oh, are you going to tell him that?
Yeah, she says, no, she says, not right now, not right now.
Oh,
Sometime in the
then
future.
he'll land.
And
She's the smart one.
yeah, and she jumps off, she hugs him, and I think it's the tightest she's ever hugged him. And
Oh,
she'll say, you mean everything to me, and I know I don't say it very much, but thank you. Thank you for everything.
and propping himself up on his little wings in the back, he'll hug her just as tightly.
Come on, we haven't been home in a few days. Let's go see if it's still standing.
Alright, and if she leaves, he'll follow.
Yep. So she'll go up to see Madison in the apartment.
You'll go over an apartment, and Madison's already like started making herself at home. So she's already like dressed down. So she's wearing like right now she's wearing a very large t-shirt, like a large like lounging t-shirt, and a pair of men's boxers.
Okay.
That seems to be like her lounging attire. And she's just, right now, she's sort of like collapsed on the couch. And when she come into the living room, she's like, ah. She says, this is nice. It's good to just relax. Hey, Molly. Hey, Bullet. Hey, Bullet.
Making yourself at home?
Yeah, like I said, Molly, your place is amazing. It's very homey. Feels a lot like my brother's apartment, actually.
Oh yeah? And I can't remember if we talked about your brother.
I mean, I don't really talk much about Moxie. He and I, we've got a very interesting relationship now. He visited me once, though. He came over to visit me once while I was, well, I guess thrown back into the slammer. But, it was, I guess, one of our better conversations. I don't know. I always think that he sees me as a sort of a screw-up, the screw-up in the family. But to be honest, I think he's right.
Madison, you sent our Pokemon in. You sent 6 Pokemon into the PC to find a lost one, and all 7 of them came back out. I think that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, but that was to my benefit. I mean, I wasn't really helping anyone but myself, and I was putting all of your Pokemon in danger too in the process. To me, that seems pretty darn selfish.
I think any of us would have been selfish in that situation. I mean, if anything happened to Bullet, I'm sure I would have done anything to get him back.
Yeah. I guess it does feel to actually do something right for a change.
Don't shortchange yourself. I mean, that's an amazing skill you have.
Thanks. I don't know. I made a promise to my brother that I'd call my parents at some point. I don't know. Last time I spoke with them, well, they were just very disappointed. And I don't know if you know what this feels like, but I guess part of me just doesn't want to have to feel like I'm disappointing them again.
Oh, I think I have an idea of what that feels like.
So do you think I should call them?
100%, yes. Call them up, and if they're disappointed, then at least you know, and at least you had a chance to try. I didn't get a chance to try.
Sometimes I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like they not necessarily love my brother more than me. That's not the right word. It's just my brother, he just needed more, attention, so to speak. And I guess they were spending so much time making sure my brother got what he needed that I was just left to my own devices sometimes. I guess Dr. Pearls told me that maybe I'm trying to gain their attention, trying to struggle, being the younger sibling and all. Maybe that's why I ended up the way I am.
I mean, don't don't try to make yourself don't try to make yourself feel small or anything, okay? I mean, I think you're pretty amazing, and I'm
Oh,
sure all of us think you are. And
well,
Molly pauses for a second, and she looks at Madison and she says, "Did I ever tell you why I like flying so much?"
no. I just assumed you liked flying because you got to spend time with Bullet.
Well, that is one reason, but uh, while we were flying, I have a question. While we were flying, what were you looking at? Were you looking at the sky or the ground?
Oh, I was definitely looking at the sky. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's totally new for me. I know all about the ground. But there's so much up there.
Yeah.
So much to see. And yeah, I don't think I was paying much attention to the ground.
See, I'm actually the opposite. I like to look down on the ground. And like you said, I thought I knew everything about the ground, but seeing it from up there, seeing how small everything is, it gives me a chance for once in my life to look down on everything else. You know? I mean, Mr. Huxley, my boss, I mean, he does everything he can to try to make me feel small. Everyone tries to make me feel small because I'm not that smart. I don't have a lot of money. I have a poison type Pokemon. But from up there I can see everything. I can see everyone for what they really are.
Oh, Molly, you shouldn't shortchange yourself either. I mean, you think you might not be all that smart, but I mean, I definitely envy a lot of things about you and a lot of qualities about you that I don't think I'd be very good at myself.
Oh yeah? Like what?
You just seem like a better person overall. I don't know. You seem like you care about people more, and you seem that you look out for people more than just yourself, at least compared to me. Uh, and I don't know, that's just how I always saw you.
I try my best. I mean, I have a lot to make up for. And Molly clears her throat a little and she says, "Hey Madison, what do you think would be a good thing to wear to a first date?"
Oh, first date? With who? It's not that Chase guy, is it?
Molly's like, "Huh? No, 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 no. It's not Chase.
Oh,
It's
Cassie? Probably not Tiffany. She's too old for you.
well, it's okay. No, no, no. It's none of those people.
Noire's
It's
pretty
actually
too.
she is, yes. Actually, it's with it's with Dr. Pearl. I asked her for coffee.
Oh, Molly, how scandalous. Oh, there is a dark side to you. Molly, I had no idea. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. You are a bad girl.
Well, so what do you think? What do you think?
Oh, yes. I mean, Dr. Pearl, she strikes me as someone who, I don't know, she seems really sweet, and you probably shouldn't wear anything that's a little bit too that makes it look like you're trying too hard or nothing. Something a little bit more, I guess, tasteful.
Molly kind of stands up and points to her normal outfit, like everything's mismatched and
Yeah,
kind
we
of.
might have to work on that. Like for me, for example, if I really like someone, I'd probably dress up in something that was a little bit lower cut. But I don't know if that's necessarily going to work for Dr. Pearl necessarily. I'm not a big fashion expert. Maybe you should talk to Tiffany about that.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you on that, and I don't know if the lower cut thing would work very well, but we'll see what Tiffany says.
Yeah, she probably would know better than me. But, yeah, that's what I think. Not that I really looked at Dr. Pearl in that way, but sure, she's cute. But what about the whole, patient doctor thing? I mean, I gotta admit, that does sound kind of kinky, but do you think that she would go for something like that? She seems a little too professional. Not that I'm trying to, rain on your parade or nothing.
Well, she's a she I respect her a lot, and if right now we're just friends, and we'll see if anything happens. I don't laugh at me, Madison, but I've had a huge crush on her ever since.
Oh no. She says, I am so entertained by this. Oh, Molly Moon, I had no idea. The dark side of Molly Moon indeed. This is very exciting. All right. I approve of this. Well, good luck to you on that. You'll have to keep me posted.
Sure thing. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go take a shower. Make yourself at home.
All right. We will. Good night, Molly.
Good night.
Yeah.
Right. I would probably keep Gobblestone for the evening and then take him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Take him around. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it matters to Gobblestone if you wait till the next morning. That's fine. Cool. We'll say that Cassie calls up Molly at this point after her shower. Maybe she's just getting out of the shower, I guess, when her phone is ringing.
Yeah, she runs out of the bathroom in her towel, grabs her phone. She looks at Madison and says, "Come on, Madison. We were in prison together. You've seen this a million times."
Madison says, "No, we're good. We're good. Do what you got to do." The important thing, though, is that Dr. Pearl hasn't seen it yet.
You're gonna make me blush, Madison. So she answers the phone and hello.
Molly, how quickly could you get me to Pewter City?
Oh, you mean now?
Now.
Well, Bullet and I could get you there pretty quickly. Well, first I need to dry off. I just got out of the shower. So if I could fly over to Saffron, pick you up, and then take you to Pewter.
I really need this as soon as possible. Can you do that?
Sure. I think Bullet might have fallen asleep already, but yeah, I'll get ready as fast as I can.
All right, I'll be waiting outside my apartment.
All right.
And she'll hang up. Because no one else says goodbye, so why should she?
Yeah, so she hangs up, she gets ready, and she'll do that.
You're going out again?
Yeah, that was actually Cassie on the phone. It sounded like an emergency.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say, it's getting pretty late, but all right, well, is there anything I can do to help?
Take care of the place for me. Call me if there's anything you need. Maybe I can pick up some groceries if you need anything.
All right. Well, I was probably gonna be going to bed soon. Had a very long day, but yeah, let me know if I could do anything.
All right. Sleep well. I'll be back later.
Okay.
And after the call with Molly ended, she would have then called the cops. So
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if you want to play through that at all.
Sure.
But-
I don't think it'll necessarily be anyone that you know who picks up the phone, but
That's
what are
fair.
you gonna tell them? You can paraphrase. We can paraphrase the
She's
conversation.
basically just going to say that someone's in her house in Pewter City and that she needs someone, there to rush over as soon as possible.
Okay.
She'll get her address and everything, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. That's fine.
But I assume, as
Okay.
always, like they have connections to the other cities, like stations.
Yeah. They'll be able to do that. So they'll tell you that they'll send some people over right away. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so Molly told Bullet to just go there as fast as possible.
Okay. You will go ahead and pick up Cassie. I don't know if Cassie's going to say anything to you when you pick her up.
Only if asked, really.
Only if asked. So you
Yeah.
tell me if you just...
I mean, her brain looks fairly busy. So
Yeah, so Molly sees that and she'll say, "Okay, you get up front, hold on very tight." She climbs on and she says, "All right, Bullet, be safe but fast, okay?"
Okay. You guys will be able to get to Pewter City. I mean, Bullet is fast, so you'll be able to get to Bullet City relatively quickly.
the Bullet City.
And when you arrive, there's already a cop car there. Well, when you get there, then the door will already be open. It looks like it was kicked down.
Okay.
The door will already be open. I don't know what you do.
Well, is there a cop still outside? Same sort of deal.
No, there's no cop outside right now. The
Then
but the
yeah,
door
once
is open.
Bullet lands, she'll jump off and run inside.
You run inside, you come into the house. The house is very dark and quiet, with the exception of you hear footsteps, but you also see a flashlight, going around the house. And the flashlight eventually comes back to the living room, and you see an Officer Jenny with a flashlight. And she immediately, at that point, she'll immediately say, "Do you live here?"
Yes, I'm the one who called in. Have you found my mom?
"No. I scoured the entire house and nobody's here."
I was just gonna say, Cassie herself hasn't noticed any. I just have to ask about psychic residue
No.
because I know that you can forget. Because
Yeah.
who would constantly think about that but me? Okay, cool.
Right. She'll say, "You said that you believe somebody was here at the house?"
Yes, I called and someone that wasn't her answered.
Have you tried calling back since then, just out of curiosity?
No, I called my mom. That happened. I called my friend to get me over here. I called you guys.
When was the last time you spoke to your mom? Like, actually spoke to your mom?
It's, I'm not sure, and also she's not sure. So, because they haven't really spoken in a while. It's really just been text for the most part, I'd say.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
I mean,
this entire time
otherwise,
it's just
for
been
a
text.
phone call, it would have been her mom having to do it. So,
Yeah, you haven't actually spoken verbally to her for a while, so
like-
you probably don't remember.
So the last text would have been 2 or 3 weeks ago after the bomb. By
Yeah.
the way.
yeah, the last text and the
Oh,
last
Cassie.
call, or at
Oh,
least
Cassie.
voice communication.
Shame.
Yeah, would probably have been. Well, so she'll explain to the officer that it had been a long time. She's not sure exactly how long.
Long time is in weeks, long time is in months?
Months at least, yeah.
Well, there hasn't been any sign of breaking or entering. And I've just been looking around, and all of the food in the fridge seems to have spoiled. So whoever was living in this house hasn't been here in quite some time. I think we're going to have to put in a missing persons report. You said that you just got off the phone with somebody. Did somebody talk to you in any way? Can you describe their
Yeah,
voice?
it was just breathing. I mean, unless she got more from that perception.
No. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to ask you for some descriptions of your mother, ma'am, and we'll file a missing persons report immediately.
Is there anything else we can do in the meantime? We could call him back and try to trace it.
We can. Yes, we definitely can. I don't have the equipment that lets us do that.
Where would we
But
find
we
the
might-
equipment?
She says, "I'm sure we might be able to get something back at the station."
Then yeah, let's stop wasting time here. Let's get to the station.
She'll you guys will leave the house if you want to lock it up. I don't know if there's anything you want to do at the house before you leave the house. It's up to you, but
I mean, no, I figure at this point with everything else going on, normally she'd check, but she'll trust the cops having checked this time
okay.
for anything out of the ordinary. I mean, they already saw the spoiled food and whatnot.
Yeah.
And unless you might think a roll, she'd notice something as she's leaving.
Roll a perception. Go ahead.
Okay. 26.
26. Yeah.
I know, kind of
26.
mediocre.
Yes. Okay. So I'm trying to think.
Only 3 6s right there.
Yes. Okay. So I don't think the cop was necessarily like going through everything, like going through everybody's drawers and stuff.
Right,
She literally was still, she was still in the house doing more of a search just to see if anyone else was in the house by the time you got there. So she wasn't going to do like a full-on investigative, let's scour everything. But while I guess maybe you came in to your room, like to check on your room or whatever, and in your room, you see that, or what used to be your room, I don't think that your mom would have done anything to it. I think that she would have just left it as your room, and it's still there. So, but something catches your eye, because with a 26, everything in your room is dusty because you haven't been there in a while, except there is one thing in the room that isn't dusty, and there's this thumb drive looking thing. It's like a thumb drive, and it's sitting on your desk completely without any dust on it.
Well, she'll certainly pick it up then.
All right. You pick up the thumb drive. Other than that, there's nothing else that you'll notice out of the ordinary besides that thumb drive.
All right. And looking at the thumb drive specifically with like dark vision or whatever included, is there anything of note?
I would say no. It's a pretty generic thumb drive. Maybe you got it off of some sort of like CVS kind of place. Just a generic thumb drive.
Okay.
No fingerprints or anything if you really are trying to look at it. No fingerprints.
I mean, I don't think that she would really be able to see that too well, but okay, fair enough. Yeah, she'll
All right.
if that's all, she'll hurry back down to join them.
You'll go to the station, and just to speed things along, they will they will connect something to your phone, and the officer will ask you to try to call the person again. And when you do, the phone will ring a few times, it'll pick up, and then once again, heavy breathing.
All right. So just hearing that breathing, Cassie tenses up a little bit more.
Can you try to get the person to talk? The police said.
So she'll ask, "Where do you have her?"
At that point, you can hear something on the other end of the phone, like it's like movement. You can hear movement on the phone, but you don't hear an actual verbal response. And instead of a response verbally, you get a text message from your mom on your phone while you're still on the phone with whoever this person is.
Okay. And I assume these are ones we can multitask, swipe down, see it.
Yeah.
She'll do so then.
Do you read the text?
Yeah.
The text says, "You should come home soon. Mom misses you." That's all the text says. "You should come home soon. Mom misses you."
She'll grit her teeth a little. Like, "I was just there. Where do you have her?"
The phone hangs up. And during that time, the officers who are trying to track the signal were saying, "We're getting some sort of interference. Who's ever on the other line, they seem to have some sort of way of blocking it."
Like what? You don't have any ways around that?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, we don't.
Right. So what good are you then?
She says, "Ma'am, I understand. I understand that this is all happening all at once. We want
No,
to
it's
help
not
you."
happening all at once. You told me yourself that the food was spoiled. How long have you guys been incompetent enough not to notice this?
She says, "Nobody has informed us of. We had no idea that anyone was missing from that house until today, ma'am."
All right. Yeah. She certainly doesn't look happy. And assuming Molly's there too, she's just gonna cast a glance at her before like storming out.
Yeah, Molly's been holding back, kind of respectfully holding back. But when Cassie storms out, she just looks at the officers, shakes her head, and follows her.
Okay.
All right. So she's intending to leave the station as a whole.
Yeah. I'm assuming you probably already gave them a description of your mom
It's gonna
already, I
happen on
guess,
the way,
at some
if that's
point.
fine.
So, okay. They are going to put a missing persons report. So they're going to file it because I mean, why wouldn't they?
No, of course they're doing their job. Good cops. Yeah.
They're doing their job. But anyway, go ahead. You leave the station. And Molly follows after you.
Cassie, do you want me to ask Madison to try?
Yeah. We're gonna go back to your place if that's all right.
Sure thing. And she'll go back to Bullet, and they'll take off.